G'day guys, welcome to my stream archive channel. Uh, I've finally caught up with all of my VODs, so you should be able to catch them not too long after the live streams over on twitch.tv/Nextempus if you want to be there and catch me live. But otherwise, hope you enjoy the video. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? I see Cyclone's here with new emotes. They it looks like they're his emotes. uh, how you doing, Cyclone? You dork. Am I doing it right? I don't know if I'm doing it right. What's going on? Okay, well that's not working. Work is insane. Is it insane because it's the beginning of the year, or is it insane because it always is? I'm curious. Also, it is ridiculously hot here, so we will see how we go. Because usually, when it's a day this hot, there is often power outages because everyone is using too much power, or not enough. One of those two. But I do not have AC in this room. I just have a ceiling fan and a space heater. The computer is going to make it so hot. Well, it's 40-ish outside Celsius, and it's about 34 in here currently, it seems. So yeah, the music is loud. Let me just turn that down a bit. Yes, it is 34 inside. It is not chilly. I would say that much. You can't hear music, and I'm quiet. I think I'm just talking softly. Hopefully. I feel like stuff got all messed up. Ah! That's not what I wanted. Sound levels are absolutely the worst. You know why? Like, I turned my computer back on for the first time in over a month, and the Stream Deck software is all messed up. Like the wavelength stuff just won't connect properly. I have to like unplug it and plug it back in a few times, start and restart the softwares, and apparently it still doesn't work. Like it's kind of working because obviously you can hear me and you can hear the music, but apparently it's not very loud. I'm gonna unmute myself to hear myself for a bit. It sounds fine to me, but the thing is, when I muted my mic to just the stream, Twitch did a permissions update, so things like StreamerBot need to be reauthorized. Oh man. Well, I'm streaming, so that's good. But hang on. So this button that I'm about to push on the Stream Deck is supposed to mute just my microphone. Does it also mute the music? You couldn't hear it before. Okay. Okay. I'm quiet. Music's quiet. I need a second opinion. I need a second opinion. I'm pretty sure everything's fine. Like, I'm pretty sure it's fine on my end. It's just not transmitting properly or something. What a cruel test. I don't even know how this is a test. Like, I don't know what's being tested. Okay, that's at max. If I... So why... I don't understand why it's muting the music. Because it's only supposed to mute my microphone. What? Why is work insane? You didn't answer that question. Mic on OBS basically max. Yes. My mic on OBS is untouched at maximum. But it's technically filtering through Wavelink on the Stream Deck, which is also at maximum. Yeah, let me know. Let me know, like, obviously, let me know if there's any improvements to the sound as I'm playing with it, but do go on and share the story of why is work insane. Also, I have not been in a Mojo stream for a while, and I'm sad about that. And your streams are too early, Cyclone, for me to join there. You can hear me fine, you just turned up higher than I would have for other things. Right. Right. Okay. I mean, like, I can boost my volume in OBS more. Like, I can go above 0 dB, but I do not want to do that without a second opinion. Just trying to think. So, yeah. So music is at 50%, which is fine. Like, I'm fine having music at 50%. Because I'm looking at the level, where the level is bouncing for music. And the music is, like, just below my voice. Like, they're pretty close to one another. I would normally have music lower than this. So... I don't want to touch it. I don't have StreamerBot, so that's not an issue. Obviously, OBS didn't disconnect from Twitch. And I can't change anything in the stream settings whilst I'm streaming. So I don't want to do that. I could just go with raw mic. Let me try unmuting just raw mic, the raw microphone, before I play too many. Oh my gosh. Did it? That just broke. Fantastic. Okay. There's... Oh, it's probably double. Let me that one. Okay. What is that? Oh, maybe that's the fan. Can you hear, like, fan noise? Like ceiling fan noise? But is my voice much different? Because this should just be just raw voice coming through. because I'm definitely getting like fan noise according to just like wind sound according to OBS. And that's what I'm seeing. Seems the same. Yeah, it looked the same as far as the bar was concerned. The music... My Stream Deck is just busted now. Because I turned off Wavelink. Well, let me kill that again. Oh my gosh. I assume I'm still coming through. I don't know if there's music. There should be music. Near as I can tell. I'm sending music. I don't know what to change because I haven't changed anything really. Work is in the middle of annual audit. Annual audits suck, which is just so many extra things to do and coordinate, and then there's whole extra projects that I have to lead, which others are running behind on. So you've only just stopped working for the day. Oh, it's 9 there. That's really late to stop working. At least you've been in air conditioning all day, right? Admittedly, I don't know what the temperature is over there to know if that's good or not. No air conditioning? Is it really hot? Is it really hot? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know what the nope's for. I'm assuming just nope for no AC. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Cyclone, that sounds like a ridiculous day. Just like generally. Like I had a finally it reconnected. Okay, so you were working from home, no AC at home. How hot today was it over there? I don't even know which part of NZ you're in. So I'm just going to look up temp in Auckland. And I've got a 1 in 5 chance of you being in Auckland. It's not so bad. Potentially. It's not 40, so it's like you have AC. I will have something like AC come like 9, I think. I think that's when it was supposed to get cooler here. But unless I open everything up, it's not going to get that cool in here. Like, it's only supposed to get down to 19 tonight, which is very warm for Melbourne. Very warm. But I'll live. I just need to drink more water, and probably not stream for as long. Like I've only been in the room this evening for an hour. It has gone up 1 degree in here. And I guess that sounds like not much, but if it keeps going up a degree an hour or faster, it's going to get to 40 in here. And that's going to be a fun time. That's going to be a fun time. How was New Year? How was Christmas? I feel like I possibly asked these things elsewhere, but I'm asking them again. Whatever. But yeah, I didn't end up streaming last week, obviously, because I ended up still being in Newcastle last Thursday, so I decided not to do that. I could have tried to do IRL stream, but to be honest, I was kind of just enjoying chilling out and not going about that. I did mean to record a Twitch story to let everyone know, but I forgot until it was like 4. So anyway, so yeah, the time away was pretty much I left here on the 22nd of December, and then I got back last Friday, which is like the 24th, 23rd of January. I got back at like 8 or 9 p.m. Somewhere between 8 and 9 p.m. on last Friday. But yeah, saw my family for Christmas, stayed on the Central Coast. Did I post a picture somewhere? I think I did post a picture somewhere. I don't know if I can show the said picture. It might have other things there. Anyway, I built some like a small set of shelves with my granddad and my nan, just because I wanted something to do with them while I was there, rather than just hanging out watching a bunch of TV. Because yeah, they're at the age now where they can't do a whole lot. And they don't do a whole lot anymore. Like they can still do stuff, but it takes a lot more energy and effort and stuff. So I have to do the expending of a lot of effort. I do wish I could find the picture. I'm sure I posted it somewhere. Because I don't have it on my computer. It's not the finished picture. I could have sworn I posted it. Why did I? Did I post it in the wrong place? Did I post it here? Maybe I'm blind. January. Still January. December. Okay, I don't know where I posted it. Could have swore I posted it there. It's really weird. So anyway, haven't put them in the place in the house yet, but I am getting around to it. I'm still sorting out a bunch of things. But I enjoyed seeing all my family. Saw my nephew and my sister Christmas Day. I think it was Christmas Day, yeah. And hurt my back playing with him. He got a, I don't know if he got this for Christmas, but at some point, since I saw him in May and December, he got a basketball hoop and this weird foam basketball. I don't really know how else to describe it. Like, it's the same size as a basketball, but it's made out of some type of foam. It bounces like a basketball, but it doesn't sound like a basketball and doesn't feel like a basketball, and it doesn't feel as heavy as a basketball. But it basically bounces the exact same. I mean, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of it, because like, this thing is ridiculous. Yeah, it's literally just a foam basketball. Is that it? Viral silent basketball? It's probably other brands. That's probably just a brand. Oh, no. That is not it. This one? Yes, this definitely looks like, that definitely looks like the right thing. Actually, let me see if this. So, yeah, he got this, and yeah, the music is not coming through. That is so weird. Okay, well now I know. Kind of what's happening, but I don't know how to fix it. Because the music is coming through to my ears, but it's not coming through to the stream, which is weird. Yeah, so it's a basketball, and it's like the same size as a basketball, but it doesn't feel like a basketball. I don't think you should use it inside, because it's not super squishy, and it's still gonna like not knock you out, but definitely cause problems. Like if you hit someone or if you hit something, like it still has weight to it. Okay. I don't know what this button is. Nope. Well, okay. That should have music now. For better or worse. Oh, I had to turn the fan off to discover the music was not playing. Okay. Yeah, so that's from Christmas, and then summer would win Christmas, and New Year's, celebrating my birthday. It was good fun, seeing how long it took for people to remember it was my birthday, because people don't usually forget. So I was having fun with it. I think most people would tend to feel bad that people don't remember it's your birthday, and I did feel that a little bit, but at the same time it's like, whatever, I'm not young anymore. Well, So it's not a huge deal. That is not what I meant to click. I don't know why. Like, the wavelength software, like, it's cool software, but man, is it a pain in the butt to make work. Because I want to turn the music volume down a bit. Because now I think it is too loud. But if it's not connected to the Stream Deck software properly, then it doesn't bloody work. And I deliberately didn't update the Stream Deck software because it was functioning before I left. So, anyway, I should remember to pray for your mother-in-law. I didn't ask what was wrong. Cyclone, if you're still there, which I assume you are, but you may not be. You may just be lurking now, or doing something else. Music did come on, it was too loud, and it's good now. Okay. Glad you're still there. Do tell me what is going on with your mother-in-law, to what extent you're allowed or willing. And I'll remember to pray for her later. The wavelength software is so broken at the moment. I don't know why. Maybe it doesn't like Windows 10. I don't know. And we're about to go into an ad. Where was I? So yeah, birthday was fun. Making everyone kind of realize and then feel bad. But yeah, I went out to dinner with a couple of friends. We had ramen. Pretty sure I posted a picture of it in Peter Mojo server on the food channel. It was good. They eventually remembered it was my birthday when we were having dessert later. So funny. But it's like it's funny that they thought it was just let's catch up and hang out, which it kind of was, but at the same time it's like. Okay, there's the ad. I won't say anything too crazy till you guys come back. Yeah, so we had ramen, I believe. Did we have ramen? I think I had udon. Yeah, I had udon, somebody else had ramen, and my other friends had some kind of stir-fry dish, I think. Hadn't been there before, and, like, normally Newcastle is pretty bad at its Asian food places, like, particularly with value for money, but also goodness. I'm just gonna restart the Wavelength software again. I have control again. Okay. Where was I in the story? I had udon. One of my friends had ramen. The other one had stir fry. We went and had some churros afterwards. Perfect combination, you know. Japanese and then Spanish? Churros, it's Spanish-ish, right? It's supposed to be Spanish. I don't know if they're actually Spanish. Anyway, New Year's didn't do anything too special for that. Went ice skating with one of my friends. I think we calculated we had not, or at least I hadn't been ice skating for like 20 years. Yep, I'm at least 20 years old. Go figure. It was good fun. It came back like pretty immediately. Hey Fabio, thanks for the lurk. Enjoy dinner. Let us know what you're having or what you had when you come back. It's good to see you. Yeah, ice skating was fun. Came back pretty much immediately. He hadn't done it for quite a while either, but he had learned to, I'm going to call it, he had learned to do crossover skating. It's the only way I can think of describing it, because I think that's how somebody else described it to me at some point for rollerblading. I'd never learned it for rollerblading. I didn't really try. But this friend knew how to do it, so he tried to teach me, and realistically successfully taught me how to do it. And so normally you're just kind of skating, something like this, kind of side by side. When you go around a corner, or when I was going around a corner, I would just kind of lean over and put all my weight on my outside foot, and maybe even lift the inside foot, and like maybe twist my foot to turn, or possibly just change the weight distribution on my foot, on my outside foot, and that would make me turn. I don't really know exactly how I turned, to be perfectly honest. I just kind of did it. Feel free, any professional ice skaters in the chat, to let me know how you guys managed to learn to turn on a rink. Interesting. Irrepressible furnishing. Thank you for that. Don't know what you tried to say, but you're out of here. So yeah, so usually just kind of moving like this, then you go around a corner and just kind of one foot. That was me, not everyone usually does that. So the way he taught me is you just try to put one foot in line with the other, and you just try to keep putting them in line, whilst leaning a little bit to turn, of course. But I feel like how it actually works somehow is it's kind of like just stepping sideways. Like you kind of step over and then you kind kind of step to here, and then you step to here. So you don't actually cross over the other foot. You just keep putting your feet in line with one another, and somehow you move. So yeah, you somehow you move one way or the other. I only learned how to turn left because they never reversed the direction of skating, which was annoying because it meant I only learned how to do that going left, or what is that? Clockwise? I only learned to do it clockwise. Anyway, so I was pretty happy with it. By the end of the 2-hour session, I wouldn't say that it was quite second nature, but it was definitely getting there. It got pretty close by the end. So I was just enjoying cruising around, making the most of it. I took one break off the ice, and then just stayed on the ice for the rest of the time. So I was definitely on the ice for a continuous period of about an hour and a half. And I only took that one break off the ice for that first half hour. But every now and then would stop to just not move. I did eventually try to I tried to like skid stop, so like turn sideways and stop. I was getting there. I feel like if I had a lot more time and willingness, I probably would have got it and been more natural at it. But I also think I might have needed to just go faster and commit better. I'm not sure. I did successfully do what I think at least twice. I'd say at least twice. But I definitely failed at least 3 times. And yeah, just fell over. No injuries from it. Because realistically I was going pretty slow and was pretty close to the ground, so I didn't really fall over. I just kind of fell, leaned too hard into it. So it's like I don't know how to indicate this. So it's like it's straight, and then you kind of lean over. So going this way, turn and lean over to turn quickly and lean over to stop. So I just wasn't quite balancing stuff quickly. But the way that I was trying to figure out how to do it was trying to feel where the edge of grip was, just when skating around normally, so like kind of zigzagging whilst going around in this circle, and trying to feel where the edge of the ice, where the grip of the skate was on the ice as I went each way, so that I could get used to that feeling, I suppose, and lean into it. Obviously I never perfected it, but that's how I was trying to improve at it. Yeah. So anyway, I was not successful at that a few times. And I I only really started trying to do that in like the last hour, half hour. So, not a ton of opportunities to have a go at that. But it was fun. I did end up getting blisters at some point on the arches of both feet. Like, probably... that's... that size comparison means nothing. I was going to say a coin. It's probably like a 50-cent coin size on one foot and 10 cent on the other foot. In American money, I don't know what the biggest coin is. I don't even know if you have a 50-cent coin in the US for any Americans. I'm pretty sure the New Zealanders don't have a 50-cent coin as big as ours. Could be wrong. But yeah, anyway, but like, I guess it was about an inch long, half an inch wide along the arch of my foot, on my right foot, and the other one's like half an inch by half an inch. But the one on the left foot didn't break through, it just kind of expanded and popped, whereas the one on my right foot, actually, the skin actually ripped off. So I lost several layers of skin down to the sensitive bottom layer, where it's nice and red and bloody and juicy. Sorry if you're squeamish. At least I'm not showing you the picture. Anyway, so that was fun to deal with for the next week. But I did alright. I'm like, it just hurt a bunch. I needed to get the right band-aids. G'day, Crabface. How you doing? What's going on? How has your year started? How was Christmas, New Year? How is this week? Any of those questions are up for grabs. I'm just chatting about, well, what's been happening since I left. And I've come back. Because I stopped streaming. Well, I left home on the 22nd of December, and I got back 23rd of January. So I've been away for a while. So New Year's was fun. Nice. It was fun. I stayed. But then, yeah, we didn't do much for the actual night. Went over to a different friend's place, played some board games, tried to watch the midnight fireworks, but his wife kicked us out in the middle of them. It's like, I don't know, like, it was really annoying at the time. It's like, it is literally midnight, it's past midnight, we're watching the fireworks, and, like, on the TV, and we have to leave. It's like, you can't wait 10 minutes for us to finish watching the fireworks. It's like, nope. And so we left. And I rewatched the fireworks on my phone when I got back to where I was staying. And it was what it was. It's like, there's things to be really annoyed about, and there's things to be annoyed about. I was just annoyed about it, but I wasn't going to really do much about it. I guess, thankfully, none of us had been drinking at all, because it might have been a different story. Anyway, I'm glad you're alright, Crabface. I'm very hot today, and in here it has now reached 36 in this room. I don't know if that has equalized with outside or not yet, but the temperature should start dropping soon, since the sun should be setting. When does the sun set? 8:30. Ugh. It's probably still going to be another half hour before the temperature really starts to go back down. Still hotter outside than it is inside. 44 crab face. My gosh. Hopefully you just have a fan. I also just have a fan. I have AC in the house, but it's at the opposite end of the house. It is it called a split system? It's just one of those like wall-mounted ones. So it's like down there. And it's not doing anything to cool this room. And unfortunately I have to stream from this room. And this has to be on to do that. And put out the heat to make this room heat up. It's Necky John, how are you doing? Good to see you around. How did your year finish up? How's this year starting out? Maybe how's the week at the moment? I'm trying to think. I think I didn't do much for the first week of the new year. Not too good. That is bad to say the least. It's Necky John. What is going on at the moment to make it bad? Not enjoyable. Yeah, did not get up to too much at the beginning of the year. Just hung out with friends as much as I could since we're all on holidays. Went to the gym a bunch with all my friends. He is not that into it, which is the main reason I was going with him, to try to help him get back into it, because he hadn't been for a while. So I'm hoping that he's continued to go since I've come back. But we will see. No, that's the worst! That is the worst, Necky John. Your girlfriend broke up with you. Well, I assume she broke up with you, because I feel like you wouldn't have said, you wouldn't have necessarily said it was a bad thing. Do correct me if I'm wrong. I bet it sucks, dude. I bet it sucks. I am very experienced in being broken up with. You might be surprised, but I am. It has never really been a good experience. Yeah. If you don't want to talk about it, let us know. Otherwise, if you're up for sharing, I don't know. Was it a mutual kind of breakup? Who brought it up? Like I said, it doesn't sound like it was your choice. You can just say that much. That you would have preferred to have worked through it, or maybe it was something else. I don't know. I'm hoping it was not an instance of cheating. I've been there. But to be fair. It was pretty tame cheating, because it was high school, and yeah. Grab, you don't have any experience, but there you go. X is winning. What? You don't want to compete. I mean, it's a difficult situation, always. Like, I have never, whenever I've broken up with somebody, I've never really wanted to just never talk to them again. Often because I'm friends with them in the first place, and then I'm much better friends with them before breaking up, so I can understand desiring to maintain being friends, but I've never been in a situation where they wanted to come back in a relationship with me. Dude, it was definitely anger, and I think it's understandable. Like, I think it's understandable to be angry in that situation. Was it a good thing to say? Perhaps not, but I don't know. It might not be over from the sound of that, but it's definitely a shitty situation to be in. Cyclone's on it. Does not mean you suck. Everyone gets angry, and I think it's definitely reasonable to be angry in that situation. Like, it's a difficult situation to be in. This is a problem with loving others. I don't know how old you guys are, but it's hard to figure out what you want sometimes, and then it's even harder to make a commitment in a direction and not change your mind. And I think it's getting more difficult and harder for people to learn how to deal with commitment. Yeah, I was actually thinking about something to do with commitment earlier today. I'll come back to that in a second. Quickly read what Crabface said. It's crazy things to say. Yeah, I wasn't totally sure which part was from what she said. It's definitely weird if she... It's definitely not great if she said her ex is winning. But, yeah, you shouldn't have to be in that situation. It's not a nice situation to be in at all. Yeah, I was thinking about commitment earlier today in relation to... what was I thinking about it? I feel like I was watching something that triggered my mind to think about commitment. And it was either... I think it was an LTT, a Linus Tech Tips video, but it was probably a clips video from the WAN show, or it was Rick and Morty. I don't know. I have Netflix again, so I've been binging that since I've gotten home. Why shouldn't you say anything, crab face? Hopefully we're not making it worse, Snake John. Hopefully we're making it better. I don't know. I'll definitely be praying for you, Snaggy. John. I should just call you John. Yeah. The typing before was me putting it into a note. If you'd like me to pray for it now, though, I can pray for it now. But keep going. Anyway, the commitment thought was: are people getting less capable of committing to something for long periods of time? And for some reason, I was thinking about that in relation to work and realistically everything. Like, yeah, I think I was definitely thinking about it in relation to work and careers and things, and wondering if the TikTok culture, for lack of a better word, like the attention span culture, and shift towards, I'm going to call it trained ADHD, to make people just spend less time on stuff, or want to spend less time on stuff. Not to mention the fact that you can just spend less time on things. You can change careers easier than ever before. And like, I'm using the term career loosely, because it's more like you can change jobs really easily. You can't really change careers easily, I would argue. But it's probably still easier than ever. You can watch whatever you want easier than ever. You don't have to commit to being around at a specific time to watch the show that you want to watch, because you can just watch it whenever you want to watch. YouTube, you can watch whatever you want to watch whenever you want to watch it. Twitch streams, interestingly enough, if the streamer is like me and streams at the same time, only 1 or 2 times a week, then you have to make a commitment ahead of time to be here. But if you're watching a streamer that just streams 8 hours a day every day, because that's how they make money, then you don't have to commit to being there. You just tune in and watch them and do whatever they want, whatever they're going to do, because they're going to do it anyway, and you can't be there all the time. So it just trains you to not be committed. Like, everything is training people to not be committed. And then you add in the inability to buy stuff and own stuff. It's like, is a subscription a commitment? Not really. You're all in an ad now, I think. So it's just like, are we both being trained to not be in a commitment whilst building a society where you don't have to commit? Like relationships, you don't need to commit, even though you are much better at committing in all scenarios. You're better off committing to stuff. It's a crazy, weird world that we live in these days, where you just don't need to commit to anything. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. And the only thing that you have to answer to is the changes in government and law, which are changing, which feel like they're changing ridiculously quickly, and you have no idea where things are going to go with government and law. And the world. So you're just like, well, if I make this commitment, am I going to be able to keep it anyway? If you missed it in the ads, I was like, I said, is a subscription a commitment? Not really. It's more like the opposite of a commitment. You have to, like, relationships are less committal now, or it's media, society is training it a bit. It's better to be in a committed relationship than not, because you have stability. It's better to be in a committed job, for lack of a better word, committed career, because good stability and income. But even then, like, jobs don't seem that secure anymore, because they're all trying to move jobs towards casual, so they don't have to do all the things that a full-time worker or a part-time worker would have. Like, they don't have to pay those benefits to 2 or 4 workers. Like, you pay the casual worker a little bit more, but it ends up being cheaper than paying for the other stuff. Which, to be fair, I don't know if that's as much of a thing in Australia as compared to the US. I'm not sure if in Australia you get many benefits, like medical expenses and dental expenses, all those sorts of things, for a full-time job in Australia. I think you definitely get some, but I think it's much less of a thing. But knowing that you have a job and an income regularly, I feel like should encourage you to work better, work harder. Not so much to keep the job, even though that's probably where it is now, but just because you have the security of it, so you just want to do your best at it. Whereas, I don't know, I feel like there's also just been this surge of, well, I don't have to do my best all the time, I can just do the bare minimum required to get the money, which is not a good way of thinking about things either. Am I just talking crap? I don't know. It's a weird, very short thought that I've now expanded to on stream. But I do wonder if commitment is a thing that is dying, and that death is poisoning something. What if that death is poisoning everything, and poisoning families? Well, relationships, which then poisons families. So you have more. I feel like we have more single parents than ever. Less people willing to stick it out and work it through. Realistically, the working it through part is the part that needs to be worked on. Like, it's not just be together for the sake of being together, but like, work it through to make it better so that you don't have to go through all the rigmarole of finding somebody else, building that up, and yeah, just like work through it. Be better about it. Same for a job. Like, things in life aren't easy. They should be, but it's nice when they are. When not. If they are for you, fantastic. Enjoy it. Be thankful and share that joy with others around you. Okay, I need to get out of that mind state a bit. How to work conference. Mid-January. Kind of started the end of the second week of January and went through. It's basically it's the 10th to the 17th of January, to which I was helping with the running and production side of things for the main week. And it went fairly smoothly, but I wish they had got me involved earlier, because it would have been a bit easier on us, I think. Yeah, knowing how things were going to be set up and not needing to fix things on the fly. I did learn too late. I learned at the end of the conference that the projector screens we had, which were on feet on the ground, we had mirrored pair at the front. They could actually be raised higher, like the screen could actually go up, but didn't learn about that till the end, so didn't happen. But hopefully I remember for next time if we go with the same setup, which I don't think we will remember next time, so that might not happen again, because I feel like we had the same setup 2 years ago. And since we only do it every 2 years, I'm probably going to forget. So we'll see. 2 years. See in 2 years. It was a good time. Some good talks. Got to hang out with workmates that I don't usually get to hang out with, because all over the country. They tried to do something fun for dinner one of the nights, and it just ended up going poorly. So they got food trucks in, but they only got 2 food trucks in for the 200 plus of us that there was. So yeah, I think I was told that it took 3 hours for someone to be served. This was for work. Yeah, this was for work. But we were at a venue, and they're trying to do something different rather than just having the usual kind of buffet style food for dinner. And to their credit, they did pretty good most of the week, but this one night it did not go well because they got just 2 food trucks in, and they weren't big ones, they're pretty small ones, and so there was only like 2 or 3 people in them at a time. But one of them was a pizza one, and the other one was Vietnamese. from what I understand, so I had the pizza option and the Vietnamese. From what I understand, they both were really good, but they took too long to prepare because they essentially were preparing them to order rather than being like, okay, these are the options, and we're just going to make this many kind of thing. But they were all made to order options, so you had to stand in a line next to the food truck, order it, hand in a token, and then wait for your order. I'd say the Vietnamese truck was better at this than the pizza one, just because they both used a buzzer system. Like, they hand out a radio transmitter receiver, and they buzz you when your order is ready. So they both were doing that, and they probably had about 20 buzzers each. Maybe 20? I'm going to say 20. They had 20 each. So the Vietnamese one just kept taking orders until they ran out of buzzers, and they stopped taking orders once they ran out of buzzers. The pizza one did not stop taking orders. They just kept taking orders until there was nobody in the line. And so the order of the pizza line just got entirely messed up. Yeah, the one-armed pizza truck guy we get in makes the non-mass, but we're working requests in between. I assume that was a joke. It was crazy slow, dude. I don't know how they expected it to be quick. I guess they asked them, and they were like, yeah, it'll be fine. But considering I think there was only an hour and a half planned for the actual dinner time, thankfully there was nothing majorly important after dinner that night. That was not a joke. The one-armed pizza truck guy. You guys get in. Oh, okay. You guys... Right. Okay. You guys get a pizza truck dude in. And he will try to work in requests, but just makes mass orders. Got it. And they were like... They weren't wood-fire pizza, but they were like wood-fire style pizza. So they had like 2 little wood-fire gas-powered pizza ovens inside this camper van trailer. And like, the pizza was great. I enjoyed the pizza. It was fantastic, but just very disorganized. Yeah, it's like, if you somehow were able to prepare orders within a minute, and you optimistically said there was only 150 of us total, and you split that in half, so 75 to each truck, and you served each person within a minute, that's still 75 minutes. So, yeah. I feel bad for our conference organizers for that one, but I admire the attempt, and I think we get in 3 food trucks next time. Let's bring up this link. Have a look at Stumpy's. How often do you get this guy in, Cyclone? Do you know? These look pretty good. Welcome to Stumpy's Pizza, home of New Zealand's most delicious wood-fired pizza in Titirangi and on Dominion Road. Hopefully this is not doxing you at all. 2 to 4 times a year. Okay, it's pretty good. Oh, I'm not gonna read this part. You guys can read that part on your own. And I think I'm gonna read only this part Whoop. I'm only going to read the first part, and you guys are going to have to read the rest by visiting the site. So Stumpy was no ordinary boy. Stumpy lived in Bavaria. He would often stand in the fields south of his village, dressed in his lederhosen and looking longingly towards Italy. He loved the romance of Italy and Italian food, and Stumpy loved fire. Was he born with a stumpy arm, or is this going to be like some horrific story? As a little tyke, his first wood-fired oven failed, but this wee Bavarian lad was not one to be deterred by failure. You see, Stumpy had lost half his arm chopping firewood for the succession of ovens he built and perfected. Oh no! You gotta be kidding me. That is ridiculous, dude. Stumpy, why? Oh man. Maybe I do need to read the whole story. Truck has a full pizza oven in it. See the food truck link at the top. Okay, I will. Damn, Stumpy. Damn. It's a story. Food truck. Dude, yes. So cool. Dude, if we were in New Zealand, we'd get him. Oh, I didn't see what part of New Zealand is he in. I mean, I get that he can travel. Okay, it's near Auckland. Okay. Maybe I should let my Auckland office know. Maybe they will get him around. But it looked like, sorry, yeah, good. It looks like they have a brick and mortar place as well as the food truck. Yeah, okay. So they have the brick and mortar place near Auckland, but you also get the food truck out. Interesting. So anyway, that night was probably a highlight and a low light. If I wasn't running some stuff, I'm sorry, Cyclone. I'm thirsty. I am sweating buckets, as they say. Like, I think I'm sweating on the inside of my nose, which doesn't even make any sense, because my nose is like clogging up and mucusing up. Is it cooling down outside yet? Okay, my phone says it's 38 outside. Like, it's not that weird that my nose is doing that, because it runs when it's cold, but it's not really runny. It's just stuffy. I'm trying to think if there was anything else notable. We had just a team retreat immediately after the conference, since we're all roughly in the same place. So we went to another location nearby, did some team building stuff, did some planning for the year. Yeah, the direction for the year for our team is changing a bit. We were kind of in a more proactive role, like without being too specific. We were in a more proactive role in what we were doing, but have transitioned so that 25% of our time is proactive, and the other 75% is going to be supporting other parts, which I think could help us a lot in the long run, but it's a bit less exciting. But in saying that, it's probably more in my wheelhouse, my skill set. Conference was in Wollongong. Yeah. So I drove up to visit my family on the Central Coast, so between Sydney and Newcastle. Then I stayed in Newcastle until the conference, and then drove down to Wollongong for the conference. Gosh, I guess after the conference and the retreat, there's essentially a resort that we always have that conference at. And they give us a good deal, even in summer. So, it's pretty good. I have no idea where the food trucks came from. Presumably somewhere in Wollongong. But I guess they could have driven down from Sydney. For better or worse on their part. Yeah, at the end of the time down there, the weather was horrendous. It was freezing and like so windy and ridiculous amounts of rain. Like I had to drive up to Newcastle. Like some of the scariest moments driving I have had probably ever. So I was planning to visit my dad and my grandparents on my way up to Newcastle, which was probably good. Maybe. Like it might not have been good to have stopped at my dad's place in Sydney before going up, and it could have just been better to just go straight up, because I might have missed a bunch of rain. But I don't think I actually did. There was a cyclone or something. You got residue. Well, you don't really get cyclones that far south. But it was probably ridiculous weather. If it was a cyclone, I would believe it. It was very intense. Realistically, it would have been pretty low category. Like it might not have even got to category. So a 1 or a 2 at best. And I'm pretty sure it came off of the land rather than off of the ocean as well. But yeah, some of the scariest moments driving. So between Wollongong and Sydney. So just I drive an i30. It's not a big car, but it's pretty decent and stable car, but it's also low. And that's the important part that you need for the story. It does not have high ground clearance. So So anyway, it's like ridiculous rain, just peltering down. I'm pretty sure I have my fog lights on, because my car has them, so I can better see the ground in front of the car, because you can't see very well, and it's foggy as well. So like, it's low, ridiculous rain, which is nuts. I've never been in fog, heavy rain. And maybe it's just the heavy rain making it seem like fog. Anyway, so it's crazy. I'm a reasonably confident driver, for sure. So, yeah, I will go faster in poor weather compared to most people. So, yeah, so we're on a 4-lane, 2-way road. So I go into the right lane to follow somebody else around this person that was in front of us. And then a Ford Ranger is behind me. And realistically, all of us in the right lane are following each other too closely. But as we're overtaking this car in the left lane, we hit this like big pond that's across the road. We're doing like 70 or 80 kilometers an hour. Don't know what that is in miles. I can't do mile to kilometer conversions. And we just plow straight into that water. As we do, the water off of the two cars, as well as like oncoming side, just like coats my windscreen in water, and I can't see anything. So I'm just like, please don't hit the car in front of me. Please don't let the car next to me swerve over into me. Please don't let the car behind me hit me from behind. Anyway, so and I'm just like immediately terrified, basically shitting my pants in that moment. But thankfully I don't hit the car in front of me, I don't get hit by the car behind me, and I don't get hit in the side by the other cars. And the water gets cleared in at least two swipes, and I can see again. And we get through that patch of water. So I slow down a little bit, continuing on, because I'm expecting there to be another one of those somewhere nearish by. And thankfully I'm navigating with Google Maps on my phone, so it actually has some warnings about water over the road in some places on the map. So I'm keeping an eye on that, trying to keep an eye to see if I can see it. I don't see the next one coming, even though like I kind of know it's supposed to be there. So I'm a little bit prepared, so I'm going slower, much slower this time around. But anyway, I'm in the left lane, there's not really anyone around. Hit the water, and like, okay, it's still in the water. Okay, still in the water. I'm still in the water. Oh no, I'm still in the water. I think I'm still making I'm still making progress. But it's like I can feel that the car is struggling to get through it. I don't know how deep it was, but it wasn't. It was obviously not deep enough for the car to float. But it was still a lot of water to drive through, and it could have been a lot deeper at any point as I was driving through it. So yeah. Did I not post that I was streaming in that server? Maybe I forgot. No, I did. Got the yeah, I already read the residue thing. Yeah, so still in the water. Still in the water. And it was scary because at any moment the water could have just got significantly deeper and the car would have been floating as opposed to driving through the water. It felt like it was probably that deep. Thankfully it wasn't. When I got to my dad's alright. But I probably got to my dad's at like 2 p.m. or something. And then I stayed there until I'd had dinner with him, and then left a bit before 8 p.m. and had to drive up from Sydney all the way to Newcastle, stopping at my grandparents on the Central Coast along the way. So, yeah, and then started that whole long journey as the sun basically went down, disappeared. And trying to drive like up the... It's called the M1 now, but I still remember it as the F3. It's basically the big highway from Sydney to Newcastle. And like, people just don't know how to drive, dude. People don't know how to drive. We are talking scary driving experiences a bit. At least that's what I'm sharing about. This is just like, when was it? This was kind of mid-January. In the Wollongong, Sydney, Newcastle area. Also, welcome, Freddie. How are you? What's going on? How was your Christmas, New Year, beginning of the year, or even just the past week going? We have some people that have had, or seem to have had, okay times, but also some people that are just like stuck back in the thick of it, and then some people not having such a great time. I know it's almost February. This is my first stream of the year, dude. I've been away for over a month. I'm trying to catch up with people. What was I saying? Yeah, so people don't know how to drive, is what I would argue. Fair enough, Freddy. I'll go easy on you. Cyclone might have some beer emotes to share around. Do I have beer emotes to share around? Where did I get these cat emotes from? Apparently I got these somewhere. These are the ones I was looking for. Yeah, so driving up the F3, 3 lanes wide. On the F3, people usually drive in the middle lane unless they know they're particularly slow, or don't know that they're slow and drive in the right lane. Is what it is. So anyway, it's like terrible rain. Wipers are pretty much constantly going, and I'm occasionally using the max speed, and I pretty much have my fog lights on the entire drive because it's that much rain, and I was generally not able to see 100 meters. Like, it was hard to see 100 meters. and we were doing over 100. Well, we weren't really doing over 100. Everyone was going slow, so we were only doing like 90. There were some patches where I was able to get back up to over 100. But yeah, we're generally doing 90 or less. 20 years ago, you were trying to outrun a storm in South Dakota and driving 80 miles an hour and the storm was catching up with you. Dude, I was trying to get ahead of this storm. And I think I eventually did when I got to my grandparents on the Central Coast and stopped there. I can't convert kilometers to miles per hour. So when I say speeds, I'm meaning kilometers an hour. So it's only 90, which is like 60. Tornado Tuesday. Thankfully, there was no tornadoes, to my knowledge. I bet it was scary. Tornadoes, scary. I will Google it. Do I want to Google it? I don't know. I want to Google it. It sounds ridiculously terrifying. Uh, 2003, eh? Oh, yeah. That. I already don't like that picture. I already don't like that picture. Tornado outbreak. It's an outbreak? That's so ridiculous. How is it an outbreak? Like, it makes it sound infectious. Oh, dude. Hey, casualties though. That's some good casualty numbers. I mean, that's still 2. It's not 0, and there's still 19 injuries. But like, for like what it sounds terrifying. 125. 125. What the heck? 125. 4 days? 4 days? Thankfully, you're not that densely populated. My gosh, imagine if you were. That would be nuts. Dude. Yeah, I'm glad I don't live there. Very glad I don't live there. It says there was 125 tornadoes. 125 tornadoes in 4 days. Oh, also, g'day Cracklin. Thank you for popping by. It's ridiculously hot. I don't have AC in this room. I have a ceiling fan. It is doing its best to keep me feeling like I'm not burning alive. But the sun is now down outside, so I might quickly open the door. It is supposed to be smoky outside. I don't know if it is. Have I thought of getting one of those portal ACs? Not really. Not really. Like, I did briefly think about it today, but I have not seriously considered it because it's not usually that hot. Like, it's only particularly hot for like a week or something in Melbourne. This summer so far, my understanding is it's been pretty hot, but I've also been away for a month, so I've missed a lot of the hot days. So I think this is my first like properly hot day back. in Melbourne. There's bushfires. There's definitely brushfires around too, but there are bushfires around Victoria. I don't think there's anything close that I'm aware of. Let me bring it up on here. Oh, hang on. Dude. Oh, man. Hang on, I've got to get this global temp map. Alright. You gonna lurk while you got some things on? Alright. Thanks for the lurk. It's affecting air quality. The smoke would affect air quality, yes. But I don't know if there's been any fires, particularly recently, too nearby. So I'm down here in Melbourne. Looks like there's one that might cause... Okay. Looks like there's potentially some small fires that could be causing problems. Because I'm on the east side here. Gotta make sure I don't dox myself. Oof. Yeah, okay. If we get any southwesterlies, which we're probably gonna. It's gonna blow the smoke over. We're gonna get rain in a couple of days, so that'd be good. But there's also fires in the northeast, and I'm pretty sure we're getting northwesterlies, so we're okay. But if we get northeasterlies, we're just gonna get all that smoke from them. Which I'm guessing is probably what the smoke warnings are about for tonight and tomorrow. Affect. Should never use those words. Affecting air quality. I think affect is the correct term there, because affect affect is when talking about the thing that's causing something, whereas effect, I believe, is the thing that is the result of something. I think. That is my understanding. Okay. Alright, that was boring. Why is it like centered up here? Look at this coldness. I want this coldness. Whoa. -40 over here, guys. Russia's getting the -40s, Canada's getting some -30s and -20s. Vancouver, baby. Vancouver's the place to be at. 0. Anyway, let's get down to Australia. Hottest place on the planet. 45, dude. If you're in like Western Victoria, Eastern South Australia, ugh. Like it's cooling down here because the sun's gone. Yeah, we've got some 40s. Like Africa, Southern South America. Let's go back an hour. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Hasn't not really changed. Let's go back to like 5. What I would say it was the hottest it could be in Melbourne. What? What? That's not accurate at all. You are Freddy. -15. Well, you must be somewhere in North America. Somewhere in the North America. I guess you were talking about South Dakota, so you're over here somewhere. Nice and chilly. If that is the current temperature, I should have opened the doors ages ago. I think that's current. Oh wait, is this forecast? This is forecast, this is not actual. Anyway, I'm gonna open the door. Give me 1 sec. It is much cooler out there, and hopefully we'll start bringing the temperature down in here. Oh man, is AC not a necessity in Melbourne? No, heaters are. Arguably, I mean you could argue either way. It's generally manageable with like dealing with clothing levels, in my opinion, at least, as somebody that has travelled south from Sydney, because I grew up in Sydney and then moved to Melbourne. So I get along. I get along. I manage. I don't know what 102 is. Anyway, it's the hottest place. Hottest place on the planet. Oh. It's a rain map. I don't want a rain map. 2M temperature? I don't know what 2M is. Okay, I don't know. Okay, that's the one I've got open. No, it's not. It's not that helpful. Let's get off of there. Well, like, Melbourne's weird because it's super dry in summer, so there's not a lot of humidity, so a 30+ degree day honestly doesn't feel that bad to me, as somebody that's come from like a 30+ degree day with high humidity. Like that's what I'm used to. And Sydney, though, whilst I was living there, Sydney, Central Coast, Newcastle, generally that kind of area. Maybe the map will be helpful for me to explain this. So, yeah, so this area is like usually pretty humid in summer. So you get the 30s to 40 degree days and humidity. So it's like actual death, up there. Brisbane typically never gets to 40s. It's typically just high humidity and 30s, but it also doesn't tend to get like below 20 even in winter very much. So it's just kind of always hot. Melbourne, you have the negatives, not super negative, it's like the single-digit negatives in winter overnight, and then in summer during the day you might get the 40s, but it's like dry heat. So for me, the 40s feel equivalent to the 30s in Sydney. Excuse me. Okay, so you understand high humidity heat, but I would argue that Florida probably doesn't get quite that high. What is 40s? Probably gets close to 40, I guess. If Florida gets close to like 100 and something, like 110, then that's high heat, high humidity. And you can't sweat. Like, you actually do need AC. So I would say there's more AC up north than there is in Melbourne. But Melbourne definitely has AC. I have AC. It's just at the other end of the house. It's not in this room. And I probably didn't use it today. I don't know. If I wasn't streaming, I might be down the other end of the house and have it turned on and just enjoy it. I will take your word for it, Freddy. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, so I don't even know what I was up to. I was telling the scary story, the scary rain story, and then started talking about the heat here again. I can't remember what I was talking about. There wasn't really much more to the rain driving story. Just people like driving in all the lanes when they obviously weren't that confident in driving in that weather and should not be driving in the right-hand lane. Nah, don't worry about it, Freddy. So they're like, and you can tell that they aren't confident in driving the weather because they're putting their hazard lights on, and my windscreen wipers are just going kind of a gingerly pace, I guess. Whereas, like, I would put my hazards on if my windscreen wiper is going like this. And I'm doing like sub 70 on 100 and something km/h rated road. That's when I would have my hazards on. But realistically, you should not be in the right-hand lane with your hazards on, going that slowly on a 100 km/h road. Like, you're specifically meant to move over to the left, all the way over to the left. If you're doing that kind of driving, like it is literally in the road rules or road guidelines or whatever they're called. If you put your hazard, if like you're in that weather, like put your hazards on and go over to the left, or it might not even say put your hazards on, it just might say move to the left and have your lights on. Because realistically, the hazard lights are not going to help. Like, I will see you, and then I will hit you if you are going too slowly. Because of the visibility that we would have had. If you were doing less than 40 km/h and for whatever reason I was still doing 90 or 100, by the time I saw you and hit the brakes, I would just slide into you. So yeah, people just were not confident and did not know how to drive in that weather. So I'm glad I took the break, my grandparents, for 20 minutes, because it basically calmed down. But I also ended up taking the closer to the coast road, which might have had less weather impacting it. Anyway, I got to Newcastle safely, and I hung out there for the rest of the week. I did have to go back down to Sydney for a day for a meeting. It was good. It was good chatting through the year with them, what it looks like for their team, what it's going to look like for our team, and discussing a collaborative idea that we had for how to do some things throughout the year. So it was pretty cool. Fog is scary as hell. Driving slow is almost as dangerous as driving fast. Indeed. It wasn't really that foggy on that road, thankfully. It was just heavy rain and it was dark by that point. So, yeah, just... I was less scared on that road compared to when I was driving between Wollongong and Sydney, where it was actually foggy. Or at least seemed foggy. Yeah. But it was not icy. There's no ice or snow. So that's good. And realistically, the visibility got its lowest when you were trying to overtake a truck, because they were spraying misty water up off the road. Or if you were too close behind a car, you would get the misty spray off the backs of the cars. So that was alright. So I have an ad coming up. I'm going to take a quick break and open up the house as soon as I'm notified that the ad's starting. And then I'll be right back after that. And we'll see what's happening. Trying to think if there was anything else that I did in Newcastle before I left. I caught up with some friends, with some other friends that I hadn't seen for quite a while, which is good. Had good conversations with them, and I had a reasonably uneventful drive back. My favourite Hungry Jack's is closed on the drive back, which sucks. And I didn't really look up a different place that I felt like stopping. There was another place at Holbrook, so I normally stop at Gundagai, and the Hungry Jack's there is now closed. The Holbrook, yeah, it's too far away. I will be back shortly. I don't know if you got the ad, Freddy. Let me know if you got the ad. Four-wheel drive will not keep you out of the ditch. It will not keep you out of the ditch on ice. Oh, Cyclone, I missed you. Have a good night, dude. Thanks for hanging around. I figured I would lose somebody, but go on trying to open up the house, which it's only cooler outside compared to this room. It's not cooler outside compared to the rest of the house currently, which sucks. Because it's still not that cool in the rest of the house. Anyways, it is what it is. So yeah, Freddie said you have a lot of new people moving in and they think four-wheel drives let them drive like idiots on ice. Four-wheel drives won't keep you out of the ditch on ice. No, they won't. No, they won't. Because that is not the issue. The ability for the tires to get traction on the ice is the problem. Which, I guess if you have chains... Do chains help? Like, it probably helps more if you have chains with an all-wheel drive vehicle of some description, right? Surely. Surely. I don't know, I don't think I've ever driven on an icy road, so I have no clue how that would go. No clue how that would go. No one uses chains unless you're in the mountains. Yeah, okay. I think there are some places in Australia where it can be advisable to have keep chains in the car at certain times of the year to deal with that. No one uses chains in South Dakota. Is it because they're lazy? Or is it because it doesn't happen that much? Like, it's not that necessary? Like, what is the reasoning? What is the reasoning here? Oh. 9 o'clock and it's still so hot. Like, I wanna go to bed and just like get through the rest of the heat as quickly as possible, because sleep will do that, but I don't think I'm gonna sleep until it gets to a reasonable temperature. Not necessary, just don't be dumb. Like, I feel like just don't be dumb would so, like, if people actually like, were capable of following that, then it would solve a lot of the world's problems. It would solve a lot of the world's problems. Yeah, I have no doubt change the pain in the butt. I have no doubt about it. But the actual solution is, yeah, just don't be dumb. And I think that would solve most of the world's problems. The unfortunate truth is that we're all a bit dumb sometimes. And that causes problems. Being dumb sometimes causes problems. Huh. I'm just playing with this world map, this world weather map, and I just clicked onto the pressure. It's 9 p.m. 9 p.m. This is super interesting. Well, to me, I don't know if it is to anyone else. So, like, typically low pressure is when you get storms. So, like, all the low pressure is, it's down here. It's down in the south. What the heck is this? That's a storm. That is a storm. Like, that's a storm waiting to happen. Also, like, what the heck? What the heck, island? Cape Horn. Cape Horn, I believe, is here. I believe this is Cape Horn. If I'm remembering right, like South Africa. I don't think Cape Horn is Australia or South America. Cape of Good Hope. Oh, Cape Horn is actually apparently South America. My bad. I knew it was prefaced by South, I guess. Yeah, okay, it's not labeled here, but yeah, pretty dangerous to travel through that section of water. It's probably alright if you're flying. But dude, this is ridiculous. Precipitation. There has to be tons of rain up here. No, there is not. It's humidity though. Look at this humidity. It's like mega humid in the Sahara. Apparently it's mega humid here. Hang on, what? 8%? Oh, opposite. It's the opposite of humid. It's the opposite of humid. It's the opposite of humid. Sorry, I was misreading the graph. I should have looked at the top. I just looked at red and was like, red is high humidity. That was dumb. That is what we call being dumb. Just don't be dumb, and it makes the world better. No, so it's it's very dry in the Sahara. That is not surprising at all. It's mega humid in Antarctica, apparently. Theoretically. It's way more humid in the north. Which I suppose makes sense. I don't know. Should it make sense? It's winter. So it's snowing and raining and whatnot, and like I guess that makes sense. It's like mega dry. 4%. It's so crazy low. I didn't think it got this low. Like, so see where this border is? That is the mountain range. That is the mountain range. That is the Great Dividing Range. You know why it's called that? Because it freaking divides well. It does a great job of dividing the weather, realistically. So these guys are enjoying the rain and humidity over here. Nothing over here though. Just pumping this fire up down here. And then like pumping the risk of fire up over here. Dude. I gotta stop looking at this map. Like it's really like it's a very cool interactive map. I should stop looking at it. I'm trying to think, my brain just doesn't want to think. Makata map? That was a Mikado map, wasn't it? Isn't it there was a Mikado map, the one where it's like more looking, curved looking, where like you have the latitude lines. Dang it. Longitude lines. The longitude lines curved. Yeah, Mikado map flattens out, flattens out a globe. Let's have a look. Mikado map. Cylindrical map projection. Presented by Flemish geographer and map maker Gerdas, Gerardus Mercator, 1569. Yeah, that was a Mercator map. It was a Mercator map. Because it's straight lines. No, that was definitely like a straight line map. It just didn't have any of the grid lines on it. But yeah, it makes everything at the top and bottom look bigger than they are. So like here. I think you just think there is a map. I just think you're just thinking of the wrong name. There is a map that does that. I dropped the thing I was fiddling with. So yeah, whatever this one is better at it. Which, I don't think it was one of those. Closed it now. It's gone forever. I could just Google it again, but no, it's gone forever. Top 10 world map projections. Makata, Robinson, Dymaxion. It's just weird. Gal Peters. Yeah, that's also weird. Just because I haven't really seen it before. Sinew Molady? It's interesting. Oh, Sinusoidal. I don't know if that sneeze came through the stream. Sorry if it did. Goodies, Homolocene. Homolocene. Weird. True east, south, west, north. Pierce. I'm not going to try and pronounce the rest of that. Winkle triple. Is the Mikado best for that? It's not about landmass. I guess. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. That it's best for navigation because it's just like, here is north. Like, it's easier than this one, for sure. It's easier than the Robinson. The Robinson is more accurate at representing landmass. And then yeah, Robinson is just better at representing landmass sizes. This one might be the best, but it's horrific to use. His desire was to present a projection that had no right way up, and lose the north, up, south, down presentation of other world maps. I think he almost accomplished that with this map, the Dymaxion map. It's not accurate on land maps. On landmass, yeah. We do generally use maps for navigation, but these days we do actually use maps for size comparisons. Like, I suppose. Well, yeah, we do use maps for navigation, but we don't use maps the same way as we used to use maps for navigation. Like, I guess we use it to be like, this is here, this is there, and then compare roughly. To be fair though, I'm pretty sure you can switch between globe and not globe. Oh, I need to zoom out a bit on Google Maps. Globe view. If we switch out of globe view, Greenland becomes huge, but in globe view, Australia huge, huger than Greenland. I'm not going to that issue. We're not talking about that issue. Australia seems reasonably comparable to Antarctica, and Australia is reasonably comparable to mainland USA. Just don't include Alaska. you don't include Alaska, mainland USA and Australia are pretty similar in size. Brazil, huge. Very huge, because it's like right next to the equator. Africa, also huge. China, huge. Russia, huge. Canada, meh. Huge. Mongolia, decent. Kyrgyzstan, meh. Kazakhstan, though. Big. It's a big boy. India, meh. Pretty big. Texas. Texas, I think, is a similar size to New South Wales, which is pretty crazy. It's like, New South Wales is probably the third smallest or something. Fabio, welcome back. How you doing? Hopefully you are chilling out in some air conditioning. Sir Tempenitus. Tempenitus? Tempenitis? I'll take it. I got knighted. I don't know when I got knighted. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the knightedness. I'm glad you're well. Some AC right now. Brisbane ain't as hot as you guys. No, it ain't. I was just looking at that map. No, it ain't. It ain't as hot. You can take back the knighting. Not fussed. Like, it's cool to have the Sir title, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I will take it and use it somehow. I don't know. It feels weird. I'll put it that way. It feels weird to be called Sir, even though, like, I would not be surprised if I'm the age of what some of my teachers at school were when I called them Sir. Which is weird to think about. Gonna try to move on from there. What have you been up to this evening, Fabio? In your delicious air conditioning. You're asking Google if I'm allowed to be sirred. You can call me sir. I'm just not going to put it on a document. I'm not going to put it in any legal forms as a title. We did have some tech issues at the start of the stream. Wavelink, the Wavelink software for Stream Deck was, I don't know if I would say that it was messing up. It wasn't being very friendly, I'll say that much. Just playing, making some music. Nothing of interest. What do you mean not of interest? You're enjoying it? You're making something to enjoy? What about me? I'm trying not to melt. It's like, that's hence the reason I'm not playing a game right now, because I would literally melt. Like, my computer would melt me. Yeah, I got a Stream Deck Plus. It was an early Christmas present to myself. I think I got it in Black Friday sales. Saved almost $100. Yeah, it was good. So Tempus is right. I mainly got it so I could use the Wavelink software, oddly enough, because it lets you. Well, also I got the Stream Deck Plus, which has the knobbies on it, so you have little knobs where you can control volumes of things, and you just go straight to the knob and control volumes of whatever program you need to, and let you divide stuff out rather than having just one slider. And it also lets me monitor what the mix actually sounds like. But it was messing up today because I didn't have because for some reason the stream mix for Firefox, my browser, where my music comes from, was muted. The stream mix was muted, but the monitor mix wasn't. So I could hear it, and I was like, "There's no problem. It's fine." You always enjoy playing around making music. Music is like your only enjoyment. Many people have made it aware that they don't care. Plus, I'm a theory nerd, so I get it. Hey, dude, like, glad you like making music. I am not someone that listens to a lot of music, just for the sake of listening to music. Like, I have music on now, to be perfectly honest. The only reason the music is really there is to make me feel more comfortable speaking, because there's noise. Whereas if I didn't have any music on, it would just be quiet. And I would feel very self-conscious about it. But with the music, I feel less self-conscious. So, you've got the OG one. I think it's way better. I mean, there's 4 regular Stream Deck buttons on the Stream Deck Plus. Then it's got a touch screen underneath the buttons, and it's got the knobs underneath the touchscreen. So the touchscreen and the knobs are linked. So, I mean, it's only better because it's got the knobs and the touchscreen. But arguably it's pretty functionally the same. The buttons still work the same. Freddy, you played Marvel Rivals tonight for the first time in like 7 months. Very nice. Did you win? Did you win, Freddy? That is the question. I don't think I've played Marvel Rivals. I can't remember why. I think I just didn't want to. Didn't want to get into it. Like I played Overwatch. No, lost. Which hero were you playing as? Or villain? Can you play as villains? I assume that you can. I feel like it wouldn't be as fun if you couldn't play as the villains, as well as the heroes. I feel like it would not be as fun. Temps in the computer. The highest temperature that the computer has had internally tonight is 74 on the GPU, 74 on the CPU, 84 on the CPU, and in the case overall 81. So the CPU has been the hottest. Can you play the villains in Marvel Rivals? Who are you playing as, Freddy? Hero or villain? Which one? Did you swap between a few? Sucks that you didn't win as well. I think those were all the things that I said in the ad break from memory. You still have ads? You still have ads? Oh, okay. I didn't say anything important otherwise. I was just looking at the temperatures of my computer. Seeing what the max temperatures it's hit this evening so far have been. No 90s. Mostly below 70, thankfully. If we'd played a game, we easily would have been in the 80s across the board. And definitely 90s in places. I guess so? I don't know, define large. Define large. I think the minority take it seriously. It's definitely a minority that take it seriously. Evangelical would not be a majority in Australia. Yeah. Like, my understanding of the statistics for Australia, so at the moment, I think at the most recent census, which there might be another census coming this year. When was the last census? Was it 2022? Yeah, we have a census this year. August. Theoretically. So the last one would have been in 2024. Which I think I was living here. Was I on my own? I don't know. Or was it 2022? No, it would have been 2022. 2024. Yeah, 2022. Yeah, I was here. On my own. I think. Does it change from territory to territory? State to state? I don't think I have... I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I think it's definitely different city to city. But then again, it's probably like dependent on the big cities, small cities. Sure. I don't think I've ever looked at it in that manner. I think it certainly feels like New South Wales is probably more evangelical than the other states. Certainly more than Victoria. Victoria seems very not. Considering, like if you look at the state of the government in Victoria, so it's the state that I'm in at the moment. You do not see a whole lot of Christian values being upheld very well, like conservative Christian values. Like it feels like it swings very far away from conservative Christian values, which makes it, like from that I would deduce that there is less of an evangelical Christian presence in Victoria, because it's so far the other way. And this is specifically around like I think it's the Anti-Discrimination Act in Victoria. So what you're allowed to talk about, what you're not allowed to talk about. You can actually get charged for saying, well, if somebody wants to, they can bring charges against you for saying stuff that they don't like. Like the abortion laws in Victoria are some of the worst in the world. I'd say worst in the world. Just because of like how late into the pregnancy they allow it. Oh yes, yes. That is how it works, Reddy. Yes. Yes, it is. It's funny how that works. To be fair, it's not just Christians. The laws are kind of against. It's just the Christian population is higher than some of the other religious populations. So the Christians are the ones that you notably see in those situations. I think I'm navigating talking about stuff reasonably well. To be fair, if I get cancelled, I get cancelled. I don't think I would get in any legal trouble. I mean, I'm happy to answer questions how I am able. I'm starting to get bugs. Like literal insects. That's why I'm poking at my screen. Asking to avoid the situation here. What do you mean? I would say that Australia has reasonable... Like, Australia has unknown Judeo-Christian values, like underpinning it, but the country is having difficulties realizing that. Probably because of how lax Christians have been in talking about their faith and actually properly learning about what they believe. And because they haven't deliberately been learning about what they believe, like a whole lot, they forget it through generational brain drain. I don't think brain drain is the right word. I do need to look up Episcopalian. I might know how to say the word because I've heard it, and it looks like how that would be said. Episcopalian. Advocating government of the church, bishops. Person who advocates government of a church by bishops. I mean, the Catholic Church and the Anglican Church have been pretty big in Australia for a long time, but the Reformed Church, I feel like, is pretty large now comparatively in Australia. But I think the Catholic Church is still the most recognized, but is probably also the most nominal in its beliefs. Church of England, yeah. Like it probably, in terms of Christian denominations, it probably it probably goes Catholic, Orthodox maybe, Anglican, Church of England, Baptist. I guess like what's it? It's not contemporary. Charismatic, Pentecostal. It's probably pretty decently huge, which would fit in Reformed, I would say. Yeah, Anglican Church is Episcopalian. Yeah. I don't know who you're saying is completely lost the plot, but I mean, anyone can lose the plot if they're not properly studying stuff and letting themselves be influenced or controlled by their perception in the world. Okay, good. Music's still going. How long have I been streaming for? Almost 3 hours. I think I'm going to stop streaming at 10. I think. So, around 10 p.m. So that's in about 12 minutes. We'll see. We'll see. It's getting difficult to continue talking. Come on. Has it cooled down here at all? Nope. Church of England, they elected a Hindu as Archbishop. That doesn't make sense. To be fair, I think because Church of England has the king, the monarch, patriarch, monarch. I don't know what word's the right word there. As the head of the church, and Charles does not care. Or at least he hasn't. I don't know if he's changed onto whether or not he cares or not. But I think Charles had a meeting with the Pope. Suffice to say, the Church of England is not doing that well, as far as I understand it. I think I heard something recently where that's kind of downhill. I don't know. I don't know. I always advocate that if anyone wants to understand Christianity better, they should read the Bible. If you want to understand Judaism better, I'd also say read the Bible, the Old Testament part. But Judaism has changed a lot since Jesus and Christianity came into being a thing. And I've not really researched the history of Judaism since the end of the Bible. Since the end of what's recorded in the Bible. I mean, I know, Islam became a thing post Jesus and caused massive problems in the Middle East. These are more recent learnings. So, like, the Crusades were effectively to combat the Islamic, effectively same thing. Both were not good. Both were not good. I do not advocate for either of them. Both of them were effectively trying to use force. Whereas theoretically, the Crusades were trying to stop people getting killed for their faith, but were effectively killing people for their faith. So it's weird. Don't worry about it, Freddy. I haven't talked about religion or politics too much on my stream, and the only risk really is of being cancelled. And I'm like, I want people to be able to talk about religion wherever, because it's important. Realistically, talking about politics is important as well. I think if there was like people arguing heavily in the chat and not really listening to one another with humility, then I might just say, okay, we're gonna stop talking about it. We're gonna move on to something else. But since it seems to be a reasonably civil, I don't know, it's not really a discussion. I'm just kind of talking about what I know. Look, I recommend people looking into the history of religion themselves. If they have any opinion on the matter, go do your own reading. From books. Read from books. If you're in a place where you can get access to the written versions, the typed out versions on paper rather than on a digital screen. You can find trustworthy versions, but unless you know what a trustworthy version is, like, how can you really know that it's trustworthy? These days, at least. So yeah, go get a book. Go get a physical book. This has a publisher. It's not self-published. I personally enjoy reading the NIV version, but the ESV is decent. King James version is just difficult for me to read because I'm not used to that kind of English. And New Living Translation is... NLT. I know a lot of people like the NLT. I definitely prefer the older NIV because, yes, there's potentially some ambiguity in some gendered words used, like man instead of man and woman, or male and female. Sometimes it's just man referring to everyone, like the genderless version of the word, like the humankind version of the word. Anyway, we're getting into the weeds. If you want to learn about religion, and Christianity particularly, go read the Bible. If you have a specific question about it, you can ask it, and I will attempt to answer it. But otherwise, I think I will stop talking about that there. But yeah, it's a difficult topic. Religion is always a difficult topic to talk about because everyone brings in their preconceived ideas and notions, and on the Christianity side of things, people are really caring about, well, people might not be caring about the person, but they should be caring about the person and the eternal well-being of the person, like through the rest of this life and into the next life, or into the afterlife, the eternal life, whatever words you want to use to describe what happens after a person dies. And some people treat it like competition, which doesn't necessarily feel that loving, particularly if they are treating it essentially like a competition, like, oh, I converted X number of people, so you only converted Y number of people, and X is greater than Y, so I did better than you. If you're doing that, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. But at the same time, like, arguably, like, converting is saving. So, like, even though their motivation is kind of off, it's still saving people, and it feels wrong. But it's kind of doing good. I don't know. But like the same things, like people arguing about what are the right laws and stuff to have. Like what sort of control should the government have over people or not have over people? It's like, it feels wrong to dictate what people can and can't do. When that's kind of what religion's doing anyway. Arguably. I don't know. I feel like in Christianity, like, God creates free will. So, in our laws, we have to have some allowance for that. Like in our government law system. I don't know. The Bible shows what happens when you institute a legal system. It shows that nobody can properly live up to the legal system that God implemented in the Old Testament, which is why Jesus comes to fix that. A lot of people get into politics or religion as a distraction to their real life. Just be you, control what you can. Perhaps. I'm sure a lot of people do those things to distract them from their real life. I don't know if I would say that they do it as a distraction, but end up forgetting about what real life is at a certain point. I think some people do, and it ends up being a distraction. It's an interesting thought. I guess it's a distraction from their real life. But it's not a distraction from real life. They're like trying to make other people's lives better than their own life by trying to control their life. Sorry, other people's lives, so that those people don't do what they are or have done. I don't know. Could probably go either way on that, I guess. But Freddy, I am getting very tired, and I think I need to bring the stream to an end and raid into someone else. Since I know you're not a regular. Nope, I'm snoozing that ad. I'm going to wrap up the stream. Something I like to do to wrap up the stream is to pray for people. So if there's anything, Freddy, that you would like prayer for, go ahead and chuck that in the chat. I have some things to praying for some people that have been by already, so I'll pray for those in a moment. If you don't know what prayer is, read the Bible. But no, seriously, prayer is just chatting to God, similar to how I'm chatting with you now. Health generally, mental, physical, Freddy. Do you want to be more specific? I mean, be as specific as you want to be, but I can just pray for health generally. Yeah. Prayer is just chatting with God, similar to how I'm chatting with you guys. I believe He cares and wants to know what's going on. I also believe that He already knows, but He wants us to share what's on our heart, whether that's good or bad. And most often, we're sharing what we are struggling with. But hey, if you have something that you want to celebrate in your life, you can also share that in the chat, and we can praise God for that. Yeah. If you don't know how to have a relation with God, and that is something you're interested in, again, you can read the Bible, or you can visit that link and have a look at a quick presentation of the very bare basic message of how to follow God, how to have a relationship with God. Yeah, how to have a relationship with God. It's had a big impact on my life, and I believe it could have a big impact on everyone's lives, and everyone should have a relationship with God. But it's everyone's own choice to do that. Physical health, I will pray for your physical health, Freddy. I assume it's your physical health as well. Yeah, I'm going to pray, and then we're going to find someone to raid. So feel free to pray with me. Or look, or continue chatting. I will continue to look at chat, see if anyone wants to, anything they want to pray for. You can pray for me, Freddy. Yeah, I guess if you guys would like to pray anything for me, you can pray for work. I'm struggling to get into the swing of things this year. It's just, yeah, it's been a weird January, so I think we're going to look a bit different. But I need to get in the swing of things, and I need to plan some stuff for later on in the year now, and just put them into the calendar so that they're there, and kind of start organizing things around it. So planning, get my butt into gear, I guess would be the two things if you want to pray anything for me. There are some financial constraints that I'm trying to work on as well. Yeah, pray for any of those things. I'm going to pray. Lord, thank you for the stream tonight. Thank you for everyone that's come along. I have seen Cyclone, Cracklin, Fabio, Freddy. I don't think I've seen anyone else jump into the chat, but I'm sure. Oh, Crab. Yes, I have. Crabface, Snacky John. Yeah, of course. Thank you for all of those. all those peeps that have come by. Thank you for the ability to stream and hang out with one another. Particularly want to pray for Cyclone and his insane start to the year with work. It's audit season apparently, and he does do accounting, so they're dealing with all of that stuff at the moment. But he is also dealing with some health issues with his mother-in-law. He didn't specifically say what was going on there, but she was in hospital, or is in hospital currently. So I pray that you would be healing her, helping him to deal with that whole situation with family, and managing work and family and all that stuff at the same time. It's particularly difficult, so help him to manage time well, to have all the energy he needs, and to not take out any frustrations on family as he deals with all of this stuff. Help him to have grace and love at all times. For Snaky John, yeah, he's dealing with a breakup, or potentially a breakup. There's an argument or some stuff said that sounds like it's ended poorly. So help him to have peace in that situation. Help him to find somebody that will be better for him in the end. Yeah, breakups are hard. They suck. I don't know if my ads got snoozed or not. Yeah, help him to resolve that situation well. And to find support from good friends to help him get through this time. Also pray for Freddy. Be with him. Assure him. Be with them in their health at the moment. Heal them. Make them well. Quickly. Help them to have everything they need physically to do what they need to do each day. Give them a good day today. Good sleep. There in the US, help them to get some sleep as they need it, and have good energy and stuff. Yeah. Ultimately, Lord, I ask that you would bless everyone that's coming to the stream tonight, and that we would be bringing your love, peace to those that we read into next. May we each know your blessing, your peace, until we're able to hang out next. Pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. If you prayed along with me, type, you can use exclamation amen, you can use an amen emote, or just type amen in the chat, and that will let me know that you prayed along too. That would be good. Now when two or more are gathered, first time I gathered someone on the other side of the wood. It's great to pray with you, Freddie. Yeah. It happens. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one here. I think I am the only one streaming this late, though. Yeah, like I said, this is the first stream back for the year. I will intend to be streaming every Tuesday and Thursday, unless I let you know otherwise. I do post Twitch stories when things change, so keep an eye on Twitch stories. My schedule is usually pretty up to date here on Twitch as well, down below in the buttons. Unless you're on a phone. I don't know where they appear on a phone. Yeah, otherwise, I stream every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 PM Melbourne time. I can't translate that to whatever time it is. Thank you, Freddie, for the follow. Appreciate you. It's been great chatting with you. I post the VODs, recordings of the streams. It's a little bit edited. I just remove kind of the countdown at the beginning. some of the carry on after the stream ends. We'll read out, and maybe like the Be Right Back section of that for the VODs. But those are over on Nextempus 2 on YouTube. I also have a channel where I exclusively record Hell Let Loose games. That's on Next Let Loose on YouTube as well. Looks like it adds soon. Gonna have to use my last snooze. I appreciate that, Freddy. I think I want to raid out to Sweet and Cozy. So it sounds like Freddy, you might enjoy being there. I don't know. They are playing Animo. I don't know what that game is, but I think I'm gonna raid there. My voice is definitely suffering. That's too many people. Yeah, let's raid Sweet and Cozy. I will chuck some of my raid commands in the chat in a second. So if you are subscribed, use raid 2. Otherwise, copy and paste the raid 1 command, the first raid command. Stick around for a couple of minutes at the very least. I understand how it is. Say hey or good day. Whatever greeting you like to greet with. And I don't know if I miss anything. If you're not following and you enjoyed the stream, you should probably follow it, like Freddy, and you'll get notified when I stream next, which should be Thursday, 7 PM. For you, Freddy, if you're in the US, it's probably Wednesday. Streaming again on Wednesday. But it'll be roughly around the same time as today. Hopefully a lot cooler temperature-wise. Anyways, it's been fun hanging out. I enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time, whenever that is. Bye. Thanks for watching that video. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to catch me live, you can go over to twitch.tv/Nextempus and you'll be able to find live streams there. But if you did enjoy the video, like, subscribe for more. And if you want to watch other content with me, you can go over to youtube.com at NextLetLoose and you can see my Hell Let Loose content because I don't stream that live because I don't like stream sniping. Anyway, thanks for watching the video.